Welcome to the Scale Model Podcast. In this podcast, we aim to entertain, inform, and promote the hobby of scale model kit building with interviews, reviews, and news about the hobby. The podcast is available bi-weekly where your favorite podcasts are found. You can also get it from our website at scalemodelpodcast.com, where you can find show notes, photo gallery, and so much more. You can also subscribe to get notifications on all our updates, new episodes, and video content. Please support the Scale Model Podcast on Patreon. Patreon supporters enjoy early access to content and exclusive contests. Your Patreon support helps us to offset hosting and other costs to bring the podcast to you. Welcome to episode 158 of the Scale Model Podcast, sponsored by Cult TV Man and Sean's Custom Model Tools. I'm your host, Stuart Clark, and tonight it's a two-man show. From west of Chicagoland, we have my co-partner in crime, Mr. Terry Measley. How are you, sir?
Good evening, Stuart. How you doing?
I'm not too bad. Keeping busy. Keeping busy with real
Well,
life.
I got stuff done around the house. It was a nice weekend.
That's
Uh,
good.
Pleasant. Cool in the evening, only up to about 70 or so during the day. So got stuff done and then screwed around for the rest of the day.
Awesome. All
So
right.
yeah,
Good
a
stuff.
3-day weekend's nice.
Oh, it's nice being Memorial Day. Yeah. Jeff couldn't join us tonight. His internet in his neighborhood went belly up. So he's not going to be able to join us. He sends his regrets. We'll give him all the to-dos. Not to worry. All right. So let's just get right into the latest news. Shizuoka Hobby Show was on last weekend. Amazing stuff coming out of there. We're going to start out with the Tamiya stuff, and then we're going to go through a fairly lengthy list of announcements and what was at the
Yeah.
show.
I'll interject and just say their posters are always fun.
Oh, aren't they?
I like these posters.
Yeah,
I'm sure people have collections of them.
I'm sure they do as well. So, courtesy of our good friends at the Modeling News, they've always they call it the Modeling News on Tour. So this was on Industry Day, the Tamiya stand. We're going to start with first, and we'll check it out. So first and foremost, how about a Leopard German tank in 1/16 scale or radial control? German
Yeah.
Federation Army main tank Leopard 2A7V
Oh,
full
there we go.
operational set. 4-channel controller included. Going to be on sale June 21st. This will be a big beastie.
Yeah, more 16th scale stuff.
Yep, that seems to be
Twin.
the new thing. And then
Yeah,
also, if that's a bit too modern for your type, how about an RC M4 Sherman with a 105 millimeter howitzer gun, 1/16 scale. Again, mechanical steering system, control differential steering system. So apparently it's quite unique, it looks quite interesting. They've got a little mock-up showing how it works. And again, that's going to be a big beastie. They also have a Mercedes-Benz 500
Oh.
SEC they announced, 1/24 scale, scheduled to be released in July.
Oh, so wait, back the Sherman actually has a differential
Yeah, it has a
for
differential.
differential steering
Yeah,
instead of just shutting one track off.
that's right.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Vince is gonna love it.
There we go. So like I said, then there's the Mercedes, choice. So looks like they have some sample colors there. Also moving on, an Audi Quattro in 1/24 scale on sale May 31st.
That's a 1980 Quattro
The classic Quattro. Very
in all its
popular.
boxy glory.
No, it's boxy glory. How about a Honda Prelude 20,
I,
1/24 scale
I'd make room in the garage for one of these.
in July? And then,
Well,
well, yeah, maybe. The model, maybe not the real car. How about the Toyota GR Super Custom 1/24 scale?
nice.
And then they had their Porsche 962C Jägermeister there in all its glory. The French light tank, the H39, that was announced a couple of months ago. That goes on sale May 24th.
This is a modern kit, isn't it? This is a new.
Yeah, brand new tool.
This
It
is
was
a new.
released 2 days
Wow.
ago because we're recording this on the 26th. Yep. This was announced about 2 months ago. We talked about it briefly.
That's going to make some armor modelers happy.
Yep.
That's a way underserved subject.
Yeah, exactly. And then also from their 1/72 scale Warbird collection, they're releasing the Lockheed Martin F-35C Lightning II in 1/72 scale. This is the naval version of the Lightning.
Very cool. I love seeing some of the shots of the molds and the sprues and such because
Hmm.
the upper body the upper because it's essentially just a clamshell sort of
Yeah,
a fuselage, but
exactly.
that makes it so much better. The whole blended carbon body,
Hmm.
all that. Interesting.
And they've also got a nice shot showing the comparison sizes between the A, B, and C.
Huh.
So you can see the C is a little bit bigger than its two brothers. Also announced there at the show is a brand new tool M36 American tank destroyer in 135th scale, the M36, and that's scheduled to come out in
I like
August.
it.
Yep, that'll be nice for people. Looks like you got some crew figures, some shells, some stowage, which you need because it's an open top. So
Hmm.
exactly. And then how about a new Honda Prelude? This is the tentative name, 124, scheduled to debut in 2025. The new Prelude was on display along with the real thing for a side-by-side comparison.
Wow. I, I'm behind the times. I didn't even know they're relaunching the Prelude.
Yeah, that looks nice, actually, the real
It
thing.
does.
Very nice. So that was from Tamiya. Then we have everything else. And there's a lot to cover here. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be a few minutes. Uma has a 148 scale AV8B Harrier coming out. And again, we're gonna have these pictures available through the links to the modeling news at our
Yeah,
websites.
Harrier 2 Plus. I know nothing about this company. Are they a
Nope,
piece of somebody else
no idea.
or what? I don't know.
No idea. Zimi models, you like your artillery? They got you covered, especially if you like American artillery. Big artillery, 135th scale. M2, like a M2 Cannon transport wagon, 240 millimeter gun M1. Transports for that. Uh, Howitzers, 81, what is it, 81 millimeter, 81 T and 93, 81-inch gun mortar carriage. Late production when you really have to lob something a long way.
Yeah,
These are gorgeous.
I don't know that much about these ones, but
No.
that quad tracked gun trailer is
Yep.
something.
Yep. Yeah,
I
that
don't know
looks
how
pretty
that
cool.
well that worked, but in some of those marshy, some of those softer areas.
Yep. But
Uh,
looks like metal turn barrels
yes.
throughout. 240 millimeter gun. There's one there. So
Wow.
yeah, all sorts here. Okay, then how about your Yaris? People don't think much of a Yaris. How about a rally Yaris?
Yeah, the Yaris and the Focus and some of these other and that small class of the modern rally cars, those things are beasts.
Yeah.
They they're hilarious.
Now look at the
But
Yaris. Look at the mesh on that.
this model looks fantastic. That mesh, those intake meshes look like they're injection molded.
They do.
Yeah.
For
And
124
at
scale.
24 scale, I buy it.
Yep.
That's really nice. They could be
Hmm.
3D printed too, but
Could be. Not sure though, but it could be
yeah.
either. But it looks nice. And then we're going to see Godzilla several times through here. Fujimi's Godzilla -1 looks impressive.
Mm.
He's having a lunch with the 810 from Tokyo train, looks like. And then new Star Citizen line ships from the game Star Citizen. These look nice.
Yeah, from Kotobukiya. And
I'm
Kotobukiya
glad
is
you can
also
say that. I'm glad you can
yeah.
say that.
Kotobukiya does a great job and they've also got the Legend of the Galactic Heroes ships.
Yep.
That's and those I love those ships because they're just different.
Then
And
we've
I don't know
got
what mech series this is.
no, neither do I. Oh, but here's from Hobby Boss. We've talked about this before. The Lord Clive, the HMS Lord Clive. This was a self. Sorry, the Lord Clive was a monitor ship, and they have it in 350, but it had a great bloody monster gun on it, in addition to the regular battleship gun. We talked about this a couple of months ago.
Is that
But
they've got a traverse to the back, and I thought it was
yeah,
fixed at
so
90
was I.
degrees.
So was I. So that might be a correction
Well, that might be just an error on their display.
when they displayed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we've got the FH-77BW shoot and scoot howitzer.
Yes, this is awesome.
Yep. A bunch of other various ones, Airfix Sky, the A4s, Messerschmitt 109 E4s.
Yeah,
Skyhawks.
yeah, from Hobby Boss.
Hmm.
A4C.
Couple
Solid
interesting ones
model.
there. So resin kits of Japanese JMSDF destroyers in 1/700 scale. So they've already done the announced Masumi class. They're going to do a Kongo, a Tago, and Hayabusa class missile boats are to follow.
Hmm.
These look nicely detailed. A lot of photo etch, I'm
They,
sure.
yeah, and that is solid hull.
Yeah,
Well,
looks like it.
they're resin, I guess.
Yep.
Resin and 3D print
But look at
and
the
photo
3D
etch.
look at the 3D print of one of the control conning towers.
Yeah, I
They got
mean
a fine
that's
detail in between someone's finger.
yeah.
Now see that I would buy because it means I wouldn't have to fold the photo etch for
Well,
that.
you still have railings.
Yeah, but it would keep my sanity somewhat. Somewhat. Okay, Fujimi, more from Fujimi. 4x4
Yes.
vehicles.
Yep,
And
some one of those Suzuki's.
yeah, those are Suzuki's, I believe. And then
And then from Ultraman, we got a
yeah,
couple of the fighters from Ultraman.
I like the one on the right. It's got a very, as you were saying too, it's got a very Jerry Anderson type vibe.
Yeah.
I like that one. Some monsters,
Yep, some some monsters.
like egg type monsters, like
Yeah,
kind of
super
amusing type
deformed
ones.
Godzillas and
Yep,
Ghidorahs and
exactly.
yeah,
Then we've
giant
got,
crawfish.
yep,
Yeah, the insects and oh wow, insects and arthropods.
yep, they had
Check them
those
out.
too. I saw that. Yeah. How to scare your spouse.
Oh,
Look,
Ginny
look.
loves that stuff too.
Oh, that's good. Most people
Yeah.
wouldn't. They go, look, honey, ah. Platts distribution, beautiful cars of B-Max. Mazda 787B and 112 scale. What else they got here? Some
Yeah,
nice
these are
stuff.
1/12 scale is nice for these GTX type
Yep,
racers
yep. They got a
and motorcycles. Wow.
motorcycles as well, and F1 cars. Lots of different selection there.
Yeah.
Some of the Italeri kits, we've talked about most of these.
Hmm.
Heller was there. Heller is represented by that same distributor. Some of their stuff. Model Collect had their What If kits on display with aircraft, mecha tanks, and paper panzers. I love this A12 in VF84 colors.
Yeah, the Flying Dorito in 48 scale.
Yep, that looks good.
Yep. Paper Panzers, like you say.
Little walkers.
I like the streamlined turrets on them.
Yep. Because, something this bulky, you have to make sure the wind goes by it, an
That's
aerodynamic.
right.
Yeah, that's right, damn it. Godzilla Reimagination.
Yep. Super
Different,
deformed Godzilla.
super deformed Godzilla. What else we have here? AFV Club. Various things, including a figure of looks like someone she must be evil. The way she's dressed up there sitting in the chair, but some heavy looking howitzers and all sorts of goodies.
Yep. AFVs, true to their name. The what is that? M1 296.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we've got the
M296.
M110A 203 millimeter gun.
Yes.
That would hurt. We have a Santa Maria class frigate from them.
Cool.
And then we have Aoshima's got their street VWs. Bugs, lots of VW bugs, and lots of Japanese classics due for release this year in rough form so far. So some classic Japanese cars
Oh, so
and trucks.
this Mustang, this Cobra GT must drag racers has a Black Lagoon logo, so it must be featured in the show. We tried watching it, but couldn't get into it.
Okay.
And garbage truck. I mean,
Garbage truck, transport truck, yeah.
awesome.
Flatbed.
Yeah.
All right. Border. Border was
Border.
there at a distributor's table. So we are going to talk about their SPD 4, but they have some other cute things. This Sky Battleship. I don't know
Yeah.
what IP it's from or if it's from any IP, but it's kind of cool.
Hmm. I love the sub deck bow gun.
Yeah.
It just tucked in there, just waiting to shoot off some spars.
Yeah. And like I say, we'll talk about the SPD 3 and 4 shortly. We've also got fine molds with their Japanese Zero, the A6M5, Model 52, Mitsubishi mid-production,
Nice.
1/72nd scale. They've also got a new 72nd F4 model, the late E and F. The leading edge slats are made into separate parts to make them fully posable. That'll be popular with the
Mm.
Phantom people.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like in
What's
both German service and U.S. Air Force.
more? Yeah, new Phantoms in 72nd.
Mm-hmm.
What were they? D's or J's? E's and F's.
E's and F's, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yep. And then we've got Hasegawa, plenty of new release, plus many new reboxings, bikes,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
TZR 250.
yeah, these beautiful motorcycles.
Yeah, some Macross stuff.
Figure from Macross, is that
Yep.
yep.
Figure from Princess from G-Force, or Gachi Man for those who are purists. And of course, Terry, this is one of your personal favorites, the popcorn machine.
Yes, more more vending machines. I was just saying, man, if there was a popcorn machine down on Main Street here somewhere, I'd probably get popcorn 4 times a week. I mean, I can make it. I can make it pretty well, but
I know, but it's
there's
nice
something about going in there, you know,
putting your quarter in or
take
whatever.
my money.
Take my money. All right, model art. Model art. So this Area 88 base, this is what is this?
Area 88's a comic series. They were mercenaries.
Okay.
It was a comic series from the 80s.
Okay.
So you see and they're flying, Crusaders and F5s, A10s. Uh, there's even like 105s or something in there,
All
right?
right,
It's
looks like
just
a
all kinds
Harrier.
of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
It looks like
Um,
you can get decals for them now,
yeah,
huh?
all the different decals. This is
48
there
and
there
72nd.
have been Area 88 releases in the past, but it's been a really long time.
Hmm.
So that to me that IP is just kind of sat dormant there, but it's
There
it
you go.
here it is. Yeah, awesome. I think Fun Decals had some Area 88 stuff. Certainly they had Blackhawks, but these are built in for these kits and
Cool.
pretty nice.
Very neat. And then we have
Yeah.
Hong Kong models. They're 48 scale A20 Boston and B25J.
Yes.
They look good.
I just
ICM was
I'm
at the
looking
show.
forward to the Boston. I
Hmm.
really am. Or subsequent versions of it, but even the DB7 because it serves so well.
Hmm. Valerie Buzina, managing director of ICM, was present at the show
Huh.
with plenty of their kits on display. So that's good. And then mini base. The F-16A and B, the air brakes in this kit are 3D printed parts, and the weapons are one piece molded using slide molding.
Oh
Both
wow.
one and two seaters were present there. And then Mobius had this is an older kit, but their Discovery from 2001 and 350 scale. Jeff's got this
Yes.
kit. I've got one in the stash. It is a big kit, long kit.
Yep.
And then we have X Plus, of course. Our good friends at X Plus, including the Universal Stables, Studio Stables Scary Movie, including Kong and Frankenstein. It's
Hmm.
Monster, Jurassic Park monsters, Godzilla, Mecha Godzilla.
Gamera.
You got to have Gamera.
Yep. Is that a whole? I don't know. If somebody made that diorama, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Fighting in a city.
I don't know who Gamera's fighting. I don't recognize that piece.
Neither do I. I didn't watch much Gamera.
No, makes me want to do Gamera 1996.
'96.
I'll have to go look for that.
Yeah.
Looks like some sort of really, really fused together bug.
Yeah.
So, you
It
know,
almost looks like a Zerg from
yeah, it does,
StarCraft.
doesn't it? Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. And then the Jurassic Parks in 135th scale. And then Zukimura was their 132nd Horton HO-22B. This is the Knack Tiger. This is a night fighter.
Yeah.
So that the detailing on that just is absolutely gorgeous. As you were saying
Yep.
pre-show, you may as well leave it open.
Yeah. Or do I don't know if I would even bother putting the clear
Yeah, the
plastic on
front
it,
end.
unless it's really clear.
Yeah, that looks gorgeous though. And that was some of the highlights of the Shizuoka Hobby Show.
There's so much stuff coming out.
There is. Okay. Now, by the time this comes out, Terry, you're going to be at Wonderfest.
I will be.
And how are things looking for Wonderfest?
Actually, by the time, yeah, it's looking good. The demos, I'm involved in recruiting for the demos and helping run that. There are 3 demo tracks, figures, vehicles and hardware, and 3D printing. So
Mm-hmm.
the 3D, they're all pretty well filled out. We had one cancellation. Ken Palco had to cancel, and John Eves also had to cancel. So
Oh
neither of
dear.
those guys will. Yeah, I'm still trying to get John. Um, but Scott, we moved Scott Scaria to that last slot on Saturday to do lighting.
Okay.
Starship lighting. He does a lot of lighting.
Very
I'll be
cool.
helping Brent Bristow with a vinyl cutting demo.
Right.
He did a just general masking demo last year, but vinyl cutting is really what people wanted to learn about. So we'll do an entire hour
That'll be
plus for
cool.
that. Yeah,
Make sure someone gets some pictures of the pair of you.
yeah, yeah. And then we got Rick Sternbach, who's giving a talk just in general, but on his decal design because he does decal design.
Excellent. Rick's always a good friend of the show.
Yeah, he is, and we'll have him back in.
We'll definitely have him back in.
Yeah. And then we've got some Paul, our good friend of the show, Paul Bodenseek,
Mm-hmm.
and Paul Havarth will be doing photo etch. Paul Havarth has done safety demos at the show, safety talks
Oh,
at
cool.
last few years, but he's going to do this photo etch one. And
Very neat.
Matt Cook, good friend, is doing first time. He's a first time demo guy now. He's gonna. It was essentially his idea was how he does bases out of things he just picks up,
Mm-hmm.
finds laying around, makes bases out of it. So that'll be nice. And then Sean Tabor again with more Trek Canon. This Sean researches these shows and talks to the model builders and stuff to see what they were actually putting together.
Right.
And these guys they were kit bashing super fast for things like that Wolf 357 and these other battles, and they would just reuse things and use pens and all kinds of stuff. So I didn't think I'd be interested in it, but I was pretty interested in it last year.
Very cool. This is the
Yeah,
35th edition.
that's just the vehicles demos. So
That's
have a
just
look
the
at the
vehicles
schedules
demos.
to see what
Okay.
else is there. All the figure stuff, including Crazy Joe. He organizes it and he does his Saturday morning dinosaur demo. Um, learn how to paint. Uh, Learn how to paint as good as Joe.
Oh, it's cool. Oh, it's
Yep,
cool. So if you're in the area, it's worth a visit.
it really is. All day long, Saturday and Sunday. One change this year is they're opening up the display room for entries to be put in on Friday evening.
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
That helped, although I tried to get a bunch of volunteers last year, and once we got the volunteers there, it went pretty fast. But
Good.
still, people, it's available for 3 hours on Saturday morning, and people always line up. I mean, just wait.
Yep. Yep.
But
Yep. Yep.
that's fine.
It'll be cool. Okay.
Yeah,
So Crown Plaza Louisville Airport Hotel, 830 Phillips Lane in Louisville, Kentucky.
yep. And I should mention because Stu, you're a Space 1999 Eagle fan. Jeffrey Morris and Nick Tate
Yep.
will be doing the Eagle Obsession screening. Yep,
That'll be
on
cool.
upstairs.
Wish I
Yep,
could see
very
it.
nice. Yep.
Yep. So
Eventually, we'll get you down here for
we'll get us
Wonderfest.
we'll get us down. We got to wait for the political situation to
Agreed.
be a little bit better. So yeah, some of the Canadian contingent won't sadly won't be there this year. But
Yep.
there we go. Alrighty. All right.
But
So
looking forward to it.
yeah, no, I'm sure we'll see lots of pictures and stuff like that from it.
Well, if nothing else, Tony, our buddy Tony, will have a big report. So,
Oh, definitely. Okay, from the mailbag from Bob Blair, the voice of Bob.com. Hi guys, I've been playing catch up with my podcast listening. I always enjoy your review of what's coming out in the model world, both for the information and the back and forth comments. I think he means banter. I'm sure he does. Keep it up.
yeah,
What's on his bench? He's got a Tamiya P-38 with way too much aftermarket. He doesn't say what scale. I bet it's a 48th.
that's the gotta be.
Gotta be. And then he's got a Revell SR-71a for when I need a break from the P-38 nightmare I created. What's he reading? He's just finished the Geddy Lee book, much like Brent did. I've been a Rush fan since my first Rush purchase in '76. I was lucky enough to see Geddy earlier this year on his book tour. The date of the event coincided with Holocaust Remembrance Day, so he spent some extra time talking on that subject. A great evening that was. Lucky him. I'd love to meet
Hmm.
Geddy Lee. And then he's also reading Dust. This is the third book in the Silo series. They made the TV series after the first book. The next season we'll start looking at book 2, which is called Shift.
Huh.
And then he's also got the Cactus Air Force Air War over Guadalcanal. I think I've seen this one. A good read. Nothing else has ever held a candle to Neptune's Inferno, but still very enjoyable. Be well,
If that's a
everyone.
nonfiction book, don't
Yeah,
want
that's
to continue.
yeah, yeah. That's a nonfiction one. And then he says, "Be well, everyone, and keep building." And that's from the Bob Blair from Charlotte, North Carolina. You can also find him. He does voiceover work. He's at thevoiceofbob.com.
Oh,
And you have one here as well.
yeah. I think I've read that Cactus Air Force book. It's fascinating how those
Yeah,
guys kept those planes flying, and it really showed the value of the P-39 in low
yeah,
altitude combat.
yeah, yeah. And you have one here from
Yeah,
Martin Holst.
yeah. Our buddy Martin Holst has recommended Franz G. Bengston's The Longships, historical fiction in the Viking era. And you did a little looking on that, and that's old. That's an older series than I thought it was.
Yeah, it was from the 50s. It was translated to English in the 50s, but it's from the 40s actually, from Sweden.
Yeah, so kind of like the Hornblower series.
Yeah, very much
Go way
so.
back.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right, so
Thanks
it's
a
all
lot, guys.
yeah.
I always love to hear recommendations on books.
I think we're going to start a thread on Facebook where we're like what we're reading, what we're watching, what we're
Yeah.
listening. I think that would be kind of cool. It's always kind of neat to share things that we particularly like.
Yeah, keep your mind active, keep
Yep,
learning, keep being entertained. Entertain us.
exactly. Entertain me, entertain me. Are you not entertained? Okay, some individual kit releases from our good friends of the modeling news. How about a Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10R from Mung in 1/9 scale?
1/9 scale?
Yeah, that's a beast.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
I
definitely a
haven't
super
opened
bike.
these links yet.
Okay, well, you wait till you see this. This is
Wow.
yeah,
Interesting they went one. I don't know. Maybe there's precedence for 1/9 because 1/10 is a standard figures
yeah.
scale.
No. 998 cc four-cylinder engine, a race optimized chassis, 0 to a smear in like 5 seconds
Yeah. I
if
mean,
you're not
you hit
careful.
the accelerator and the bike goes away without you on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was
Wow, look
designed
at
to win
this.
championship. Isn't that gorgeous?
I'm fascinated by these racing bikes.
Yep.
Just the engineering of them,
Look at
the
the engine
design.
further down.
Yes.
Inline 4 engine is precisely replicated. Twin spar frame, inverted front forks,
Oh yeah.
forged wheels are meticulously reproduced.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd,
it's worth even if you don't do motorcycles and
oh, I
outdoors.
know. I'd scare myself
I
silly if I had one of
love looking
these.
at these. Well, I mean, not building. I mean,
Yeah, not
not
riding.
riding. I
No.
mean, no, no.
Couple different schemes, including an anniversary scheme. So 3 different
Yeah.
schemes. But that is very cool. All right. And this one I caught me because ICM does a lot of this. They do like captured aircraft.
Hmm.
So check this one out. A Henkel in captured in 2 different markings, an HE-111.
I think a lot of people are interested in the planes, and I've done this too as well. I've used done captured or second nation use of these aircraft, like a Free French Junkers 88 I did years
Yep.
ago. So
Yep.
I don't want to do it in Nazi colors. I just don't.
Well, the RAF, they it was
Yeah.
originally captured by the Americans, and then they gave it to the British, and the British now actually have the aircraft in the RAF museum in
Oh,
German Battle of Britain markings.
nice.
So there we go. Yeah, kind of different. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, TACOM. TACOM's announced their Shermans. And of course, like they've done before with some of their other kits, they have a big box set where you can get both the M4 A176, the Super Sherman or the M1 Super Sherman, plus a U.S. Army tank crewman with a 50 cal machine gun. And that's in 1/16 scale. The Shermans are in 35th, and you get the crewman figure in 1/16 scale, all in one box.
Yeah, Neil has bought a number of these big boxes from Tacom.
Yeah, yeah, he might be getting this one if he likes Sherman. Various service, Israeli and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Mostly an Israeli service, but yeah,
lots of options.
lots of options there.
Movable suspension, workable tracks.
Metal barrel, clear parts,
Yep.
all sorts of two different track guard options are included, three different drive sprockets, three gun brackets, and a dust cover for the mallet are also presented. Movable suspension,
So much stuff.
so
It's
much
nice.
stuff. Yep, so that's pretty cool. That'll be coming out soon. Okay, here's what I was talking about. Border. They'll sell 1 billion of these. Borders 35th scale SBD 3-/4 Douglas Dauntless in 35th scale. This is the CAD rendering, but stress skin effect plus raised and recessed rivets.
Yeah. If previous results are prediction of future results, then this is going to be fantastic.
The engine looks gorgeous.
I mean, the stressed skin,
Yep,
not as bad as on a lot of planes,
yep.
but still, you get a little bit of oil canning. You can't not.
Mm-hmm. Of course, posable die brakes. Front seat and the
Wow.
harness parts are photo etched. Some gorgeous details in the cockpit area. We don't have a release date yet,
Nope. Fingers
but
crossed.
coming soon.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
whoops, I have a
fantastic.
wrong link for this. This is a course Border Models 35th, or sorry, FAA Corsair from Magic Factory. I don't have the
Mm,
link. I have to correct it. I love Corsairs in Fleet Air Arm service. These are this is a gorgeous looking one based on their previous Corsair kit.
hmm
Um, the decals are good, but I like the ones with the big roundels. Neither of these have the big blue and white roundels. If
hmm
I was to build one, I'd do that. But again, gorgeous looking kit, lots of detail, and I'll have to correct that. I'll have to correct that link.
I've
But
heard just universal praise for
yeah,
these Corsair kits.
exactly. Okay, yep. All right, moving on to 1/72nd scale kits from Hobby Boss in June. So we've got the 1/72nd scale TBF-1C Avenger.
Always cool.
Oh, it's cool. Thank God it has masking. 45 mass parts.
Mm.
You need it for that greenhouse.
Yep, it's one of the bigger ones on an American plane.
Mhm. And they over 1,000 were used by the Fleet Air Arm. I didn't realize there was that many used by them.
They were they were an excellent
Oh yeah,
uh, patrol bomber.
yeah,
They really were.
exactly. And then they also have the APA 5D airport starter vehicle. This is used during the Soviet era. Eastern Bloc countries and the Soviets used it as an aviation power supply vehicle, and could be used as a towing tractor.
Yeah,
So
I like
good,
it.
good for your diorama. You also got some masks there for those tiny, tiny parts, as they say. 70 parts in this little thing.
Hmm.
So that'll be good.
Well, I mean, the suspension and drivetrain's all there, so
Hmm.
yeah, or for the most part.
Yep.
I
And then
like it. I like seeing these support vehicles.
yep, always good. Trumpeter. We have another large Leo and a two-seat attack helicopter. Let's talk about the Z-19G Light Scout attack helicopter. This is a Chinese Light Scout and attack helicopter. It's essentially a tandem seat version of the Z-9W,
Hmm.
which is a license-built version of the Eurocopter Dolphin, the AS365. I thought it looked familiar.
Yeah, it's just not as pretty as a standard
Tweaked
Dolphin
and
or a
tweaked.
H-65.
Yeah. Made its first flight in 2011, was publicly revealed in 2012. It's in service with the Chinese Army Aviation Regiment.
Yeah, it looks like a standard light
Attack
work.
helicopter. Yep.
Yeah,
And again, masks. Thank
sure
goodness.
does.
I'm really pleased to see more companies are putting masks in their kits now. It's
Yeah,
really, Really good. Okay, and then if you don't want radio control, but you still want a giant Leopard, you can get this one from Trumpeter, the 2A6 main battle tank, 1/16 scale from Trumpeter.
I
Big beastie.
always like the leopards though. They're cool.
Yep,
They're they just they're just like main battle tank stamp.
exactly. 1,500 parts, multi-slided molded lower hull and upper hull,
Oh
well
my
individual
God.
track links. This
Oh,
further down in the picture, they show the picture of the hull and the turret between this size comparison, just so you know what you're in for between 1/16th and 1/35th. Yeah, it's big, like double the size, right?
yeah.
1,500 parts. 90% of it's individual track links.
I guess you're getting all that cabling and the photo etch, and
Much,
even
yeah,
the smoke launchers have chained caps on them.
yep,
At 16 scale, they'd better, right?
exactly. Good looking kit.
It it is.
Too big
Now I'm
for me,
interested to
but good
hear what
looking kit.
how people think about the trumpeter's
Yeah, the detail's
effort for
nice.
this.
We don't know how accurate it is, but the detail looks gorgeous.
Is that another one of these where tracks are each link is
Yeah,
six
nine
parts?
nine parts or something. Yeah, probably.
That's why I don't do tanks.
Yeah. Okay, then I got a press release from Agora Models. I believe they're in the UK. They've announced a licensing agreement with Universal. And the first thing out the gates here is going to be the Orca. That was the vessel featured in Jaws, the original
Mm-hmm.
Jaws movie. And it's going to be 1/16 scale. Quint's iconic fishing boat, the Orca. Now, this company, what they do is they ship you the thing in parts. So like you get like packs every couple of weeks.
Oh, so like that D'Agostini
Similar to, yeah,
sort of
that's the
thing.
name. Yeah, I was trying to remember the name
Yeah.
of the Falcon, the D'Agostini Falcon. Same idea. They actually have quite a few different things. They
Oh,
also released an SASG recently. They've got 007 stuff. Goldfinger, the Lotus Esprit, the DBS from No Time to Die. And then again, a lot of stuff from the various Bond movies, the Terminator.
Jaguar E-Type. Very
Yep,
nice.
yep. They have a 1/16th Leopard. And they have a one, is that 16th, 18th scale? Japanese zero, a big scale.
Wow.
So yeah, again, they were nice enough to send a press release. So, and
Wow.
the zero is quite nice. You can build it like with stressed skin, like skin half off,
Look at all these Bond
1/18th.
cars.
Yep. So again, if you're into the big scales, they also feature a forum, so if you need help when you're building it,
200 scale Bismarck, Stu. There you go.
there you go. That's all we need, right? Constitution, Titanic.
112 scale double-decker bus.
Yep.
There you go. You got space for that. It's
Jaguar
not so
E,
wide.
Jaguar EE type. I like the Jaguar E type.
Yeah. Well, this is an interesting collection.
Yep, 1/8 scale E type. Officially licensed from Jaguar. So you know they got the plans. Supply pre-painted, 1/8.
Hmm.
Body and chassis made from Zamac metal, ABS components, rubber tires, and replica leather upholstery. 22 inches in length, 8 in width. Weighs 9 pounds, approximately 500 parts. Functioning headlights and taillights. Windows go up and down by turning the handle. Stop lights go on when the brake pedal is pushed. Steering wheel operates the front wheels, high quality finish, etc., etc. Pretty nice looking.
Extraordinary. Yeah,
Yeah,
look, they're all like that.
yeah. So definitely check
Nice.
check these guys out at agoramodels.com.
Yeah.
And again, we'll have them in our show notes at scalemodelpodcast.com. Okay, let's see what's new from our good friends at ScaleMates.
Deep breath, everybody.
Deep breath. Okay, we're recording this on May 26th. So we've got a company called Resin Tech Models, an MT25 light tank. Looks like 3D printed.
Yep, Resin Tech.
What else? Model
That's
Factory Heroes got their latest thing. A Brabham BT5S 112 scale.
huh. Tobot X from Academy. I don't know what
Not sure
series
what
that
that
is.
is. All right, moving down to the 25th. Tiny little compressors, tow compressor, a bulldozer, and a couple of bulldozers from Balaton Models.
Yes.
The
Ah,
Centaur from
yeah, the Centaur from
Ray Harryhausen. Yep,
Star Ace brand. I'm sure I'll see it
yep. I'm sure you'll see
this
it there.
coming weekend. That's the show for Harryhausen stuff.
A lot of stuff on May 24th from EMP 3D, various trucks and vehicles in 70-second scale.
Yeah, keeping their designers busy on that CAD program and
Yep,
stuff.
yep.
Yeah.
Good for gaming scale.
Yes.
Ram Cruiser Tank Ram Mark II, the Medium, the Grizzly Mark I, Chevrolet 4x4, etc., etc. The M47 General Patent 2 with a closed hatch. All right. What's this from ResKit? Mary, oh, it's a Christmas ornament. Santa flying a plane.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, what else here? VW from EMP 3D in 172nd scale, a Beetle. A lot of stuff from Warlord Games for the gaming scale, 156 scale, May 23rd. M15 gun motor carriage, M3 Lee medium tank, VW Beetle staff car,
Yes.
amphibious Jeep with a U.S. Army crew.
A Toyota Hilux from Rattlesnake
Yep,
with rocket launcher.
you need the rocket launcher
Yep.
and a machine gun,
Uh,
apparently.
yep. 72nd scale resin kit.
Yep.
Kind of cute.
Further down to the 22nd, we've got Matador 6x6 refueler and from Aladdin models in 32nd, 48th, and 72nd. This is a 3D data file
Nice.
you can print. Then we have something called The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel. Aragon the Argent Knight from Good Smile.
Yeah, I guess Moderoid. Yeah, I'm not familiar with
Oh,
with the line with
not
the
not sure. Yeah, the IT or the
heroes.
IP for it.
Still made.
How about
Huh.
how about how about this one May 21st? The main battle tank, South Korea, the XK3 Phantom. Look at that thing. That thing looks something out of a video game.
Yeah, it's another one of these that have no one in the turret kind of thing.
You're right.
If it's real.
Yep. What else here? Belfine Thunderbirds mechanic selection, part one and part two, 1:144 scale. More stuff from SS
What the hell
models.
are you? Oh, where the hell are you? Oh, there you are.
Sorry, I'm May 20th.
Yep, just a huge number of
Yep.
printed stuff.
I Love Kit has their pack 40. We've talked about that in 1/16 scale. A lot of stuff in 1/72nd armor these days. Then we've got the French Leclerc in 1/16 scale. How about a French main battle tank in 1/16 scale? The
A
Leclerc
Leclerc,
S2.
huh?
Yeah,
Who's the Tongde model?
never heard of them.
There's so many of these companies out there that are, I don't
Yep,
know. Depends on who makes it, I guess,
yep,
for them. Yeah, I don't know that I've seen a 16th scale Leclerc.
yep. Going down, how about May 16th from Paper Project, the Falkworth VTOL project, 1/72nd scale. The Tsar tank, that was a big tank if I recall. 1/72nd, that's going to be big. And
Italian submarine from Thetis models in 350th scale.
1/350th, yeah.
I don't, in 1940, 1941, huh? Huh.
Borders P51D and 1/35th scale. That'll
Wonder what
sell.
that's going for.
Yeah, that'll sell a few. There's the Dauntless. And I think we've pretty well covered most of it. So yeah, I think we'll end it there.
Lots of little tiny. Oh, then there's all those
3D printed.
1/144th
Yeah,
scale 3D printed fighters.
yeah. A lot of tiny things.
Yeah.
All right, that's what's new at ScaleMates. Let's talk about someone else Terry's going to see down at the show is Cult TV Man with all their goodies threatening Terry's wallet. Let's see what's new from them. Let's see what's new from our good friends at culttvmanshop.com and culttvman.com. If you're listening to this on Saturday or Sunday, they are at Wonderfest. You know that. You love them for it. You should check out some of the specials. They have the Fly, the Glow Kit from Monarch for $50, the Moon Suit from Monarch for $50, Godzilla's Go Kart. Such a special price, I'm not allowed to reveal it here. You have to check out their booth at Wonderfest. Also, Boba Fett from The Mandalorian, the Bandai kit for $25, The Witch from Doll and Hobby GA for $35, The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, the Cyclops Glow Kit from X Plus for $45, and an absolute ton more deals, including the Big Eagle one for a very special price. They expect those to sell out quickly, so make sure you're there nice and early to check it out. If we look at what else is there, they have some new stuff on their website at culttvmanshop.com. The Sab Drake and J35 and 148 scale from Atlantis, the classic kit, $22.99. The Convair U.S. Navy Pogo vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, 148th. You can pre-order the 1989 Batmobile, and in my humble opinion, that is the best Batmobile from the movies, with a seated Batman figure, 125th scale. Price to be announced, but they are going to do a pre-order. And how about this one? Time Machine Deluxe, 1/6 scale from the movie. The resin kit with the lights from Alchemy, $474.99. That's going to be a big kit. As well as the Millennium Falcon, the perfect grade from Bandai, 1/72nd scale, $479.99. So check out these and all the other amazing deals that you can find at culttvmanshop.com and tell them the Scale Model Podcast sent you.
Yeah, I usually wind up buying something from Steve.
Yep. No, he's a good guy. We really appreciate the support. Okay,
He
what's on? Go ahead.
as he brings Yamato stuff just to tempt me.
All righty, I'll send him an email. Steve, don't forget to pack some Yamato stuff for Terry.
That's right.
That's right, just to tempt him. Okay, what's on the bench? With me, very little. Real life's going on. I'm still taking care of my good wife. She's slowly but surely getting better, but that's keeping me really busy. So I am working on some BattleTech heavy armor units, like armored support units. Catalyst does great detail on their minis.
Hmm.
Terry, what about you?
Kind of in the same boat. I am still doing some trying to get my mess in order. But I'll also build just in the living room.
Right,
And bring stuff out and back. So work on some of those mechs. The as typical, the Hasegawa Batroid Super Valkyrie fiddly kits. I'm
right,
getting to close to where I can start painting some stuff before I have to put them together, like the boosters and stuff. But a lot of filling and sanding. Um,
right, right,
that's just how they put stuff together. I mean, I'm glad it exists. So
right.
doing that. Beyond that, some of the Coda Wave Dogram kits. So started doing some of that just to build, Emily's, mine, and Jeff's mechs. So that's moving along. Also painting those dragons, as I mentioned. They sat for like 3 or 4 weeks just in primer in the garage. But I'm starting to get color on them. I'll email you a copy of that.
Cool.
Some Reapers, and I got tons of other dragons that are partially built and all that stuff. So like I said, when I went through the Musaru Cup and built that Kraken, I kind of got the bug back a little bit for
Good.
mythological stuff.
Good. Okay, what we're reading. Again, not a ton of time for reading. I'm reading one called The Notebook by Ronald Allen. It's actually a history of the notebook. At first you go, yeah, that sounds like a snooze fest. It's actually
Hmm.
not. It's quite fascinating because when you think about things like ship's logs, scientific journals, stuff like that, I've just really started it, so I'm still back in like Roman times and
Mm.
slowly getting into the Middle Ages. But yeah, the reviews for it were very good, so I'm looking forward to reading that. How about you?
I'm getting close to finishing up that brief history of everyone who ever lived. Excellent book. I'm really enjoying it. It's Like I said, it was from like 2016 or something, so it's not brand new. Um, but it's the big stuff hasn't changed.
Right.
It's really interesting. He's a British guy with that classic dry British wit in there. So that's always fun. Um, Beyond that, yeah, the latest novel in the Reincarnated as a Slime was released, so I'm reading through that. It's coming to an end here soon,
I
so
love that name.
all the big stuff. It's a great series if you ever get a chance to watch it. It's a great series.
Cool.
They did a good job with it. Um, yeah, so mostly those two. Then decide on what to do next.
Hmm.
Not sure yet, but it'll probably be a big fiction book since I've read a couple nonfictions.
Yeah, I have to pick my next fiction one soon.
And I always have something on the Kindle that, on the phone that I can just
Yeah.
pick up. That's what the slime is, yeah.
Yeah,
Here and there
exactly.
and read 5 or 10 pages. But a big book like the Brief History there, it's like if I do 20 pages at lunchtime, because it's a pretty dense read,
Hmm.
that's pretty good. So it takes me a while to get through some of those.
Awesome. Awesome. Very good. Okay. Another awesome guy, our good friend at Sean's Custom Model Tools. Now we're going to talk a bit about Sean's Custom Model Tools, one of our other sponsors of the Scale Model podcast. Some very cool things, both 3D printed and the Goodman Super Sanding blocks. Let's start with the Microset and Microsole decal set bottle stand. This is purposely designed for the microscale set and sole. Most modelers over the years, they've tipped these bottles over. So this is a very handy thing. At $14.95, you can put them both together. They're printed in blue and red for easy identification. Comes with a black base, and they actually have little magnets on it, so helps keeps them in place. Definitely a good deal. I use mine all the time, and I can well recommend them. Let's talk a bit about those Goodman Model Super Sanding blocks, namely the Value Pack combo for $28.99. You get the 80 grit, 180 grit, 220, 320, 400, and 600. Just an amazing set, just what you need. And you can also, if you want, you can also get a super sanding block stand for it, which also really makes life a little bit easier, helps things keep it organized. The other thing too is they have the awesome model tape dispenser for your various tapes. It's basically a 3D printed thing. You put spools of your tapes. It's got a little razor blade to help cut it, and it's really, really good design. So yeah, works out really well, and yours for $19.95. So check out these and other amazing deals at Sean'sCustomModelTools.com, and also on Facebook, and tell them that the Scale Model Podcast sent you. All right, things we've seen. Terry, you found this one, from 3D Shoot Expert.
Yeah, I'm sure we've talked about these guys before.
Yeah,
If you want a 3D printed drag shoot for your SR-71, who was that spooling an SR-71?
yeah, someone
Up there,
was.
maybe he wants a drag shoot.
There you go.
Yeah, Bob. Um, yeah, they're doing canopy frames for the F-14, the Tamiya F-14 kit,
Hmm.
which honestly would look fantastic because building those out of photo etch or something is such a pain in the butt.
Agreed. They also got stuff for the F-15 and F-16.
A ton of stuff. So have a look there. Um, that's like the res kit. They don't do as much as res kit, but their stuff looks good. I'm gonna have to put an order in at some point.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
got
I
some.
I picked up the was it Academy, which was originally I think Revell of Germany Rafale kit because I would like to do that in Canadian markings
Right.
just for fun, right? Um, and there's a whole bunch of stuff from ResKit for that, so including pilots, including female pilots, and they're doing great. All these companies are.
No, exactly.
I love to
Exactly.
see it, and it just makes your job so much easier
Yep.
when having a pilot in the seat. It's great.
Very cool. Yeah, they got some neat stuff. I'm just looking through them now. Jet
Yeah.
exhaust, nozzles, gear, tie
Hmm.
downs, lots of parachutes for different aircraft.
Yes. I mean,
Uh,
that's eventually I want to try that. I want to try a drag shoot.
yeah, that'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think that'd be very, very neat. See, never always something new in this hobby. That's the way we look at it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so that's about it this week. So for more modeling podcast goodness, check out the other modeling podcasts at modelpodcast.com. Please leave a positive review if you enjoy what we're doing. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and our very own website. Inbox reviews are, of course, are available at blackfire.ca. Oh, I would be remiss, speaking of modelpodcast.com. There is a new podcast out of the UK that I've just added to the Model Podcast stable. It's called Beyond the Box Art. They just did their first episode. Bunch of Brits. So it looks like it's going to be interesting. I've just started listening to it yesterday. Haven't finished it yet, but so far I'm like what I'm hearing. So definitely a shout out to them. We'll have to see if we can try and get them on the show at some point.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. So anything else you can think of, Mr. Measley?
I don't know. I think I'm lucky enough to get something done these last couple weeks
Well, that's good.
with all the yard work and everything.
You're gonna have fun this weekend at Wonderfest.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing everybody.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the after action reports and all that good stuff.
Hmm.
And we'll hopefully make it down there one day.
Yeah. One of these years.
One of these years. All right. So for the Scale Model Podcast, my name is Stuart Clark.
And I'm Terry Measley, reminding you to stay entertained.
That's good. Thank you, and be well.